everybody. I hope you're not too full from lunch. Today, I thought I'd share with you the story of how I'm trying to discover togetherness in the connected age. I'm Mark Abbey, and I find the feeling of connecting people deeply satisfying. Right before coming to ITP, I was a radio host, a moderator of millions of users on popular websites, put together communities, craft days, and opportunities at local art museums. I was heavily involved in clubs and collectives, and these things have a lot in common. They bring people together. When I came to ITP, I gained the skills to take this to the next step. I built the things that bring people around the world together in real time. Like Surround, a way for people to connect around live 360 video so that they can experience the same worlds together. And ITP Telepresence, a way for people to be telepresent in ITP and watch and show things to each other like videos and songs, and even move around and express themselves in physical space with Ruben's Telerumba. And Magic is Real, an online chat platform with a playful interface that allows people to experiment with music together. I began to realize that even though social media had been great at keeping us in touch, nothing we use connects us like the way we are connected when we're actually together. Being with your friends and family for long periods of time, noticing what each other is working on or playing with, running into conversations about each other's issues, about the latest obsessions, or gathering around to watch this week's TNO video. It's this feeling of being open and bumping into ideas, conversations, content, and stories that I wanted to recreate. So my first attempt was something like a space for people to hang out together with their own little avatar that they can chat with video and text and experience their favorite songs and websites live at the same time in the form of little cards. Now this was pretty fun, but if I were to really succeed, I had to create something that didn't break the flow of your daily life. Something that allowed you to do whatever you wanted to do, but subtly stay with the ones that mattered. So I looked closer at workspaces, schools, and homes, and one thing stuck out to me. We're all on our browsers, but our browsers barely bring us together. They are connected to the web, which sometimes connects us to each other, but I needed to build something that creates presence and togetherness. And in order to do so, I had to connect my browser directly to your browser. So we would just be there with each other, no matter where we were. Then Passtime was born. I put it straight into the hands of my 6 close friends so we could find the best way to be together online. The first thing we needed was to see each other. So I added little versions of us to the bottom of our browser, and suddenly everybody wanted to move. So we did. We began to run around and break free. This proved a lot of fun and was very intimate already, so much so that I kind of wanted to stop. Then we could speak, and the user feedback scaled from there. I had to iterate and test faster and almost got lost in the possibilities. The interface started changing rapidly, and my beta testers and I had our own hypotheses about how to increase presence through video streaming, audio streaming, tab sharing, location, activity sharing, and everyone I talked to had different ideas with what to do with the avatars. Ultimately, this made me realize I needed simplicity. Passtime needed a solid concept before expanding into other directions. I stayed away from features that anybody else already had, and I had to focus on something truly unique. I started to think more about our human activity in general. I found that what we did with our offline and online activities were drastically different. Why do we share most of our offline activity with those who care about us, yet we share all our online activity with strangers and corporations and governments? This is a question that still guides Passtime forward. So then I tested the question. What if we could see what each other is doing? at least to some degree. We tried a few different ways to achieve this. Some more comfortable than others, some less interesting than others. And after a while, we found a great formula. Automatically sharing videos, songs, and articles live with each other. It gave the right balance between meaningful content without too much distraction, and yet it provided an interesting mechanism for us to learn more about each other. In Passtime, this is like what it's like to watch videos. You go to YouTube as you normally do, and your little avatar shares in a word bubble a link so that your friends can immediately engage and watch along with you. Their video comes up, and they can watch. Listening to songs in your browser is the same. It automatically shares in a word bubble, and your friends can then jam along. This was something that connected us in a subtle way more times without knowing it than knowing it, as have come from conversations offline. Wikipedia allows you to get closer with your friends, into their deeper interests, into what they're researching, something that comes in especially useful when you're co-working or you're in an environment where research is being done. The New York Times is something that allowed us to actually bond over world events, something that I feel is lacking in our day. If you never were on a page that shared automatically, you can actually right-click and share with one more click. And if you ever wanted to say something privately to a friend, you can whisper. Like asking Sony if she wants to watch the Lego movie without Ruben. Because we all know Ruben loves Legos way too much, and he would talk the entire time. So this is what it's like once you receive a whisper. It pops up in a little notification. Here's a reply. But it pops up in a little notification here, and you can hit reply, and you say what you want to say directly to your friend. In Passtime, you can interact directly with your friends in ways that represent physical senses, like showing them your love or punching them. Something useful for both conversation and content. The settings in Passtime are hidden in a little face up in the right-hand corner of your browser. And here you can do things like change your name, and eventually you can change your avatar and your avatar customizer. But for now, you can also do things like go completely offline or hide the word bubbles if you want to stop being distracted. If ever someone was to get in your way, simply hold down on your mouse on them and continue with your normal browser usage as you normally would. The natural interactions of hanging out in daily life started to really come through with Passtime. My best friends and I have gotten closer and have exchanged a lot of stories. I've never had more fun filling out a boring job application while getting hacked. And sometimes I can feel the same exact thing would be happening in the real world. Some of the next steps that I have for Passtime are to give more life to your avatar. Build an animation library so that when you show your love for someone, you're not just showering them in hearts, but you may walk up to them and hug them. These are the kinds of things that most people quickly suggest when I show them Passtime, and these are the kinds of things that I need help with. So I want to finish the avatar customizer, and I want to open Passtime to a public beta. Right now, it's in a small group of friends, and I also want to have cross-browser support. If you wanted to keep up with the development of Passtime, you can follow me on Twitter and try the beta yourself. And I just want to say that I love you, to my friends, my family, and now that we're leaving ITP, I really hope we can keep this going. You're all some of the most interesting people I've ever met, and I want to keep sharing my life with you. Thank you for the knowledge and the skills and the beautiful memories. We're drawn to each other because of these common interests that we have, but we stay close and support each other. I want to give a special thanks to my mom and dad who are here from California. And to Ruben and Sony, who really put me in a place where, they've given a lot of content and contribution, and I'm really thankful. Please clap, yes. Amazing Ruben, amazing Sony, they're amazing. These guys are fully animated, all thanks to Ruben. The avatar customizer, he's the man. But I also want to thank, the rest of my family, all my beta testers for putting up with, this difficult cycle of bugs and rebuilding. And I want to thank Nancy for helping me through the entire thesis process, and especially sometimes the laptops in room 20 and room 50 for dealing with the little guys running on the bottom of your browser when you're in class. And I just wanted to give an overall thank you to this community and what we do here. Thanks.